And welcome back, YouTube. Thank you for tuning in as always. I appreciate that. And today let's talk about Final Fantasy 15. Now, prior to playing this game, I had no experience with the Final Fantasy universe or any of its games. So I'm going to review this game on its own merits as a standalone product. I'm a first timer, so I guess that makes me pretty much suited for reviewing this game from an objective point of view as much as I can. So I'm not a fanboy or anything like that. Now, in this game, you play as Noctis, who is the heir to the throne, and he goes on this road trip with a bunch of his friends. He's off to marry his betrothed, and the moment he leaves, Imperial forces invade the kingdom. His father dies, and Noctis and his friends are basically on their own. And this is when the adventure really starts. Now, I love the main story. It's like the equivalent of a buddy movie or road movie. It's very, very charming. I really like that setting. Now, I'm not the greatest fan of manga or manga-inspired graphics, so I don't really like the character models for the main characters, but some of the secondary characters just look pretty basic, and this is in contrary with the high production values of the cutscenes. So it really makes me confused. I mean, the cutscenes just look great, but the characters just are plain. But I do like the group mechanic here. Now, your friends, they have distinctive personalities. You know, you have the strong guy, you have the nerdy guy who's all reading books and cooking meals. You have the goofy photographer.
I used to be super shy. Couldn't talk to people. No surprises, but I had no friends.
Now, the characters sort of argue with one another, they will chat with one another, they will reveal more of themselves along the way, which I really, really like. So the characters start to grow on you. You really become to like them. And the characters will also help you in combat, but I'll talk about that later. Now, this game does the companion thing a lot better than Skyrim. I mean, in Skyrim, the vanilla followers are nothing more than, well, you know, they follow you and they fight for you, but nothing else. But here, again, you get to know them. You get to know what they're all about. So, now what do you do in this game? Well, you travel through a variety of beautiful environments, and it looks really, really beautiful. There's this sort of desert place, there's a foresty region, there's a good variety of that. And you also see these strange shaped structures along the way and landmarks that sort of give you the idea that this is a different universe than our world. And it feels alien-like, and it's really great. You know, it looks different. And it's also very apparent in the design of the creatures and the monsters that you will fight throughout the game. Now, gameplay-wise, this game feels very much like a Western RPG. I mean, it's not an open-world game in a way that you can go anywhere and do anything, but the areas sort of become accessible as you progress through a linear story. And you travel the world with your car that is sort of semi-automated, and I actually like that. I mean, there are a lot of people complaining that you can't really drive the car yourself, but I like the fact that the car drives automatically, more or less. It's a nice change of pace, and it really lets you enjoy the scenery along the way. So you check the map for question marks, which means that there's a character to interact with, and the character will give you a quest. Also, there are a lot of pit stops all around the maps, and you can talk to various characters that you'll meet there, and these characters reveal more of the map, and you'll see more question marks and more quests to do. Now, as I said, the main quests are really interesting. I mean, the main story is just amazing. But since the bulk of the game revolves around leveling your characters, you need to do a lot of side stuff in this game. Now, most of these side quests are fetch quests, which means that you need to find a specific item, fight some monsters along the way, pick up the item, bring it back for a reward, and repeat, because most quest givers will send you on another field trip to find another item where you'll fight progressively harder enemies, bring the item back, and so forth. So I hit a brick wall with this. It feels like you're in this treadmill of repetition, of repetitive quests, and it became a bit boring. It does get better as you progress the story further, and there are also some really fun hunting missions where you're sent off to kill some legendary beasts, which is cool. But still, I would have loved to have more meaningful quests. And as I am a newcomer to the series, I mean, having quests that actually fill me in on the lore and the background of this universe, that would have been great for me. What I do really like about this game is that you have to finish a quest before it is dark, which means you need to make sure that before night falls you are finished with the quest. Otherwise, a high-level monster will appear and almost instantly kill you. So there is a need to go camping, to find a hotel. And if you do so, then this allows you to actually level up your characters with the experience that you've gained. And the progression system allows you to spend action points to access a vast array of different buffs and abilities. Although these abilities are really fun and fun to use, I think that the UI and the menus are really badly designed. It's so clumsy. I mean, the abilities are laid out on no more than 6 different pages, so making it really difficult to navigate on what's on offer. But there's even a larger elephant in the room: the combat system. I did not really like the combat system very much. It is real time with the possibility to pause if you choose to do so, and to select a certain enemy and to adjust your tactics somewhat. But the real-time fighting is so overcomplicated because there are combos you can pull off. There is button mashing, and there are also QuickTime events that are sort of context sensitive. The whole thing just doesn't feel natural. It feels mechanical. It is overcomplicated. And at times you can pull off some amazing combos that look amazing, or a linked party attack. But it's still a question whether or not that was intentional or accidental, or just pure luck on your side. So there is a whole bunch of tutorials in this game to get the grips with the combat system, but I think that the game actually could have benefited from having a more simple, streamlined, or even a turn-based combat system. And you know, it wouldn't be that bad if the camera would work correctly, but it is all over the place. I mean, it is very hard to follow what is going on the screen because the camera is just floating everywhere. I do like the fact that you can issue orders to your friends, but this also means that you lose control over Noctis, and the camera sort of follows that friend who's going to perform that special attack. And that looks amazing, and so the game sort of goes through great lengths to show that combat move, but it ultimately fails to make the combat feel satisfying and to actually have a satisfying gameplay mechanic here. So in a way, the game looks better than it plays, or the combat specifically. But despite the repetitiveness and the clumsy and clunky nature of the game, I did enjoy myself with it. There is a really nice story here, and the environments look great, and the creature design is phenomenal. And there's this terrible but also wacky voice acting that sort of suits the whole thing. I don't know, it's really weird. But there's a lot of heart in this game. There's a lot of humor and some genuine moments here. But don't expect a masterpiece. Now that's it for me. Hope you like the video, keep watching, subscribe, and see you next time.